cavern. GM actually pressed out an entire series of Corvette bumpers incorrectly, about 50,000 of those. Those are now buried beneath us. I don't think that guy works there anymore, but they are in the cavern. Also, hundreds of thousands of computer keys, plastic keyboard keys were brought in here. They heard about what we were doing with the recycling, and those are buried here. So there are some cool things. Why are they doing it? Basically by raising these floors up 60 feet. And the entire area we've driven through today, they have raised the floors up 60 feet. So 900,000 truckloads have been brought down here. They can create climate-controlled business space. They can wall in between the pillars. We already have 14 active businesses down here already. Also, it helps to reinforce some of our pillars, like this one. Many of them have large levels of shale rock in them. And if you know much about geology, shale is an extremely brittle and flaky rock, especially when it's exposed to oxygen. Eventually, this pillar would hourglass away, and then it would crumble, and then the ceiling would fall down, and then we would have the entire Louisville Zoo down here with lions and tigers and bears. Thank you. Now, what's going on over here is kind of cool. This is organic recycling, so pretty much the exact opposite of everything I just said. It's vermiculture or worm recycling. The worms we have in this bin are called Canadian red wigglers. These guys can eat their body weight every single day. They also reproduce every 90 days. So we started out with only 50 worms when we began this demonstration 5 years ago. But now after 5 years and a lot of reproducing, we do have more than 50, for sure. I don't know how many are in there. That'd be like impossible to calculate. But I know exactly what each and every one of you all is thinking. What comes out of these worms when they're done recycling, right? That's the question on your mind. And it's this stuff right here. This is called worm castings. It's not just dirt. This is some of the best fertilizer on the planet Earth. If you all like to garden, get out in the yard, put your plants or flowers in this stuff. They will grow very well. It's a fantastic natural fertilizer. A lot of good garden stores here in Kentucky are now selling this stuff. So it is there for your consumption if you want to buy it. But speaking of consumption, another thing that worms are used for all over the world is a source of protein. People are eating worms pretty much everywhere. East Asia, Central and South America, Africa, generally in remote places. It even happens in North America, guys. And it's just a cultural thing. We shouldn't be judgmental about that. Everybody's got to get their protein in one way or another. It's a fact of life. But we do want to demonstrate this concept to you guys today. That worms are an excellent source of protein, and you can eat a worm. It's not even that big of a deal. So, there's a reason why I switched over to the zip lines, okay? We're going to need a volunteer, guys. We need a volunteer. Seriously. Come on. Oh, yeah. Nah, I can't actually let you volunteer, but that never happens. You're pretty brave, seriously. I used to take these tours a lot, and like nobody ever did that. I think the insurance companies here would probably have a problem with me feeding worms to the public. So I'm going to handle this one, but that is brave. If you don't want to watch me eat a worm, and I know some of you all don't, that is okay. Please just look the other way. If you do want to watch me eat a worm, please watch closely, because I'm only going to do this once and as quickly as I could. Now, even if I was allowed to feed you a worm, I would not give you this one. This is the red wiggler. Hence its name, it does move around quite a bit. It coils up and balls up, I think you can tell that. It's a choking hazard is my point, okay? It's dangerous, but for your benefit. We're going to dig out an even bigger worm. This is a jam-packed tram, and I want everybody to be able to see this, so I'm going to get a night crawler, which is a much bigger worm. And you guys are going to be able to see it a lot better. But it also goes down a lot smooth. It goes down much smoother. And it's not going to be too difficult today, you guys. Oh, my Lord. I do want to get the dirt off of this thing, okay? You don't have to watch. Kids, stay in school, all right? Seriously. Yeah, listen to your teachers. They're smarter than you think. All right, here we go. Worm eating 101 at the Mega Cavern. All right.
He ate it.
I think I heard a skeptic back there in the back. I didn't appreciate it. Gummy worm? Really? I wish that were a gummy worm. Anyway, I can assure you guys that was a real worm, so take it for what it's worth. Thank you. I feel bad for me too. Any questions though? This is the last time I do get out of the Jeep, and I am happy to answer any questions at all.
I feel bad for you, really.
I know. I do too. Yes. How many grams of protein per worm? You know, people do ask me that a lot. I think it probably depends on the worm. Truly, I'm not sure. But I do think it's pretty clear that I'm getting all the protein I can handle. Did you have a question, man? No? Any other questions at all? Any questions? We've covered a lot of material, okay? And this is the last time I get out of the Jeep. Think about it. Geology, the industries, the Cold War. No? Okay. Fair enough. This is where that Kentucky bourbon's going to come back into play here in a second. No, that's obviously not the case. They wouldn't let me tram and drive like that. Or tram and drink, whatever. Managers actually do give you one bottle, though. When you do the tram tours, Listerine. I don't even use that stuff. It's for sissies. I'm on the zip